Hello everyone, this is Hammertron here on my HammerMobil channel with a new Playmobil review for you. This time I am reviewing the Playmobil History Set 4433, the Viking Fortress. I bought this set this year in 2021 in November. In just a moment I will show you the packaging this came in, and then I will review the set itself. Here is the box for the Playmobil History Set 4433, the Viking Fortress. Looks like a very interesting fortress with some rocks and wooden fort. Now, nowhere on the box does it say that this is a Viking fortress. Here is one side. It shows a nice picture of the Viking fortress. Here is the other side. This was made in Germany, and the date here is 2004. Now, I'm not sure if this was really made in 2004, if this box has been sitting around for that long, or if they made it more recently, but it's the same set that they originally made in 2004. So, on the top of the box is a nice picture of the other side of the fortress. It looks like it's more open on the back to get more access. And on the back are some nice pictures of the Viking Fortress and some of the characters. And on the bottom is where we have a picture showing everything that comes in the box. This is my favorite picture on all the Playmobil boxes. I really enjoy these kind of pictures. Now, with this kind of box, it has little scissors here, so we cut out the bottom there. We also cut on the sides and this side, and then we can flip the whole box open. So it makes it nice to be able to reuse the box and store the item in there when we're finished. In just a moment, I will review the set itself. Here's a look at the Viking Fortress from above. I have it sitting on a Lazy Susan so I can spin it around. We can look at it, how it generally looks from above. So as we can see, it's not a regular shape there. Here is the Viking Fortress. I'll look at the fortress first before looking at the figures. One feature is a cage to keep prisoners. This cage is held up by a string, and it is hooked up over here. We can unhook this and lower the cage to the ground, and then we can raise it up again and hook it up on this side here to keep the cage suspended in the air. One little problem with it is the cage touches the rocks. I'd prefer that it hang out further away from the rocks to keep the prisoner isolated. This fortress has just a little bit of plant life here. This is considered the front, where we have a shield, and we can place some weapons, swords or axes here, but these pieces are a bit tight, and the more I tried to put the axes in there, the more it chewed up the handles, so I would rather not do that. Here are the stairs leading up to the fortress, and then if we turn this around, this fortress is rather narrow. And then we can turn this around to the back. And there's space underneath the fortress. We can place a figure down here. Or over here. It's a narrow little space, a bit hard to get my hand in here, but perhaps younger users of Playmobil can put their hands under there. And here is this other side. There is enough space underneath to put a figure down here. We can place a figure here. And we can place a figure up here on top. So lots of playable and display features. This is how the Vikings can get up to the top level with this little ladder. Now, in order to put the pieces together, there are little yellow pieces here that fit into these little square holes, and then we can stick many different pieces, rocks or wood or other things together, and it stays together very nicely. So I'm impressed with how the pieces stick together and stay together. It seems rather sturdy this way. Well, this part is just a little bit weaker in the front, but it's not very hard to put back together. So this is nice for being able to disassemble it and put it away when we're not playing with it. That, I think, is the weakest part of the fortress. In just a moment I will look over the figures that came with this set. Here are the shields and weapons that come with the Viking Fortress. We have 6 shields, 2 different kinds of shields. Each shield has a sticker attached to it, and these were the only stickers of the set. This shield here is the one that is on the front of the Viking Fortress. There's a dagger, 3 swords, 4 axes, 2 different kinds of axes, and 2 spears. Here are the 4 figures that come with the Viking Fortress. It looks like 3 Vikings and their enemy. Their enemy is the one that they put into the cage. The set comes with a chain and a collar and a handle, so we can put the collar around the neck of the enemy, and there's a little sheath for his knife. It comes off very easily. And here's a handle. So the Viking can take their prisoner to the cage. Now, this collar can be a little bit difficult to remove sometimes. So I took that off. I also took off the hair. So this is what the figure looks like without the hair. So it's a very simple matter to put it back on. It comes with a hat, which fits onto the circle type hair piece, and here is the hat. It looks like it's made from wolf skin. And this little piece here goes onto the back of his belt. and that is used to hold his dagger. So we'll slide it back in there. Now each of the Vikings, they all have hats, and they have these wrist pieces. Each one has a different color wrist piece. This, I think, is the leader of the Vikings because he has a cape that we can snap on around the neck. They all have circle type hair pieces to fit their hats on. Now this set came with 3 swords, so they can either hold the sword or they can put the sword into their belts. So the Vikings can each carry a sword. They also have axes. So they can carry axes for fighting. Now this set does have 2 spears. However, the spears, I think, don't fit into their hands very well. I think the spears are a bit too loose unless we get it into just the right spot. But even then, I think the spears will fall out of their hands too easily. And they have shields that they can hold. There are 2 ways they can hold the shield. This way, or they can hold it from the top this way. So I don't know who the enemy is supposed to be. The Vikings are certainly fighting against somebody, and they take him prisoner and keep him prisoner in their fortress. So this is the Playmobil History Set 4433 Viking Fortress. It's a very impressive set. I enjoy how it looks, and I enjoy the idea of having a fortress and having Vikings running around with some axes and swords fighting each other. Although I'm not sure what the story is with their enemy. Still, we can make up whatever story we want as we play around with it. I also like having it for display purposes to create a nice diorama. Just a very all-around impressive set. Certainly something I'd like to have in real life in my backyard. However, I'm sure my neighbors would not be too happy with that. So, thank you for watching my video. Please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. Until next time, goodbye everyone.